This week on The Real Housewives of Potomac.
She said that Wendy is completely self-absorbed and that I should never trust her, and she's only out for herself.
Does Wendy know these things?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 16. Let's get right into this very messy episode. Okay, you guys, so the past, 2-3 episodes of Potomac have just been absolute garbage, but this episode had me intrigued, okay, because it got messy. So let's get right into it. So the episode begins at Ashley's event. The ladies have just stepped outside to get Mia all the way together for her lies, because when Gordon had lunch with Ray, Gordon pretty much cleared up a lot of things that contradict with what Mia has been saying. So Karen says, you made the father of your kids seem like a nut, and the whole time you were lying. So Mia then deflects, and she brings up Karen being a drunk and Karen getting D from all these other places, which, don't get me wrong, we all know that's true now, but that's got nothing to do with the current conversation. Mia walks off. You want to know who was sort of Team Mia, though? Both Stacy and Kay, but particularly Stacy. They thought, or more so Stacy thought, it was very inappropriate to say this to Mia. So Stacy says to Mia, maybe you should clarify what she meant. And Mia's like, no, I don't need to clarify anything. Do we need to clarify that Karen is effing Ray? And a lot of these things, right, against Karen. And Stacy's just sort of standing there, which definitely doesn't go unnoticed by Karen. She sees that Stacy is next to Mia's side at this moment. Wendy even says to Stacy, Stacy, where do you stand? And Stacy says, I stand with mothers. When you bring up something about kids, you bring it up to the mother directly. You don't bring it in a group setting the way Karen just did. But anyway, it is then time for Ashley's show. They go back inside. Also, Kate was there. Kate Chastain. Ashley's family was there, as well as Josh, and let me tell y'all, Ashley was definitely feeling something. She went all in her performance. She gets Karen on the stage, does a striptease. The people there loved it. And then afterwards, they're congratulating her. Josh was being super supportive. They do catch Ashley up on the drama that just happened before the show, that Gordon is not this crazy man that Mia says that he is, and that he's actually the father. That was pretty much it for this event. It is then the next day. The ladies meet up at a restaurant. It's Gizelle, Ashley, Karen, and Kay. The place looked very nice too, by the way. So they talk about what went down yesterday. Karen says she can't believe Mia would make up these fables and lies, especially involving kids. Gizelle says that, when it comes to Mia, her eyes are like wide open now. Kay then says that she's really happy to be there with the girls today because she needs their support. She got into a very bad fight with Greg. She says that moving and living together has been hard, but the biggest fight is about her being on this show, The Real Housewives of Potomac. He doesn't want to be part of it, and she's crying. I actually felt bad for her. Gizelle talks about not dimming your light, don't allow anyone to make you feel small. And listen, I don't think it's unreasonable for him to have a problem with being on a television show where drama is at the epicenter of it. I get that. But at the same time, I believe that in marriage, all relationships in general, actually, it's about making sacrifices for the person you love. So, just as I'm sure Kay has done things for him that maybe she doesn't particularly like, I believe he needs to do some of those things as well, even if he's not too comfortable with it. And this is such an amazing opportunity for her. So I do think it's very disfortunate that he is having such a problem with it. And let me tell you something. Kay is too nice and too pretty to be struggling with a man that she isn't even engaged to. Like, what are we doing? Mia is then picking up her man, Iyke, from the airport. Super cringy, super ratchet, but this is the scene, so let's talk about it. So, Iyke says that Gordon texted him saying that he told Mia about the DNA test a few weeks ago and thought Mia was going to tell him. Mia says, well, I do have some results in my inbox, but Gordon can't go behind my back and not tell me that he's gonna get the test. Huh? He absolutely can do that. What do you mean, Mia? So then Mia suggests that they call Gordon to like figure something out. But then Iyke gets mad about this because he thinks that Mia still talks to Gordon too much and takes him into consideration a little too much when it comes to decisions. And he says that the lack of boundaries is affecting their personal relationship. Moving along, we see Stacy at an animal shelter. She is an ambassador to the Human Rescue Alliance because she loves animals. Ashley comes over. Stacy's going to be doing a fashion show that's going to be a charity event where they will walk the runway with animals available for adoption. Stacy says that she's going to invite everyone. She then mentions to Ashley her second mediation. It went well. As far as Ashley, she's still stuck with Michael when it comes to this confidentiality clause that he wants. And she's talking about maybe filing a public claim by the end of the following week because she really wants to get this divorce over with. Stacy says she does too, and that's why she's waiving her child support. Ashley's like, why would you do that? And like, what if he marries somebody else? And Stacy says, well, Arabella will always be her child. I was like, yeah. And then Stacy, she keeps claiming that she knows who her husband is and she knows what type of father he will always be. I thought to myself, I'm pretty sure that when you got married to this guy, you thought you weren't going to get divorced, yet here you are. So Stacy, your thinking might not actually be reality. So get that child support. Moving on, Greg and Kriana. Okay, so they had one of the most awkward car rides I've seen on The Real Housewives. She kept wanting to talk about the disagreement that they had the other night, and he was silent. He was refusing to say anything, but he was fuming at the same time. He didn't want to talk at all on camera. They then go to a restaurant, and he does begin to talk a little bit more here. He's talking about Kay needing to go with the flow sometimes and needing to calm the F down. I was like, damn. Kay says, sometimes I feel like I shrink when I'm with you. Greg says, well, that's how you feel. What? Kay says, I want us to be on the same page and do the work. She says that she wants him to see the value in her and in them as a couple. She says, only you can give me that, and I feel like you haven't. And she's crying. I feel very bad for her, and he says he disagrees. He says that he has never dismissed her feelings, that he doesn't dismiss. That was awkward, very uncomfortable, feel very bad for Kriana. So then Stacy goes to see Vivian. We haven't seen Vivian in a while, but she is a designer, so Stacy wants to work with her for the fashion show, which I think is a great idea. By the way, Stacy did a nice little invite for the event with her daughter. And everybody in the group chat, when Stacy sent it, was sending hearts and, oh, so cute, we will be there types of messages. Now, Karen, on the other hand, says, I will not be participating in your event after your conversation at Ashley's event. Really, Karen, that is so petty. So then Ashley, Wendy, and Gizelle are joining Stacy over here at Vivian's place. And Stacy's talking about Karen not wanting to be in the fashion show, and Wendy sticks up for Karen, which I can definitely appreciate. She says to Stacy, maybe you're not showing up to Karen as you should, as her friend should. Listen, I love Wendy sticking up for Karen, but I'm on Stacy's side on this. I'm not going to be fighting all your battles, okay? Fight your own battles, okay? And here comes Gizelle with the BS. So she tells Stacy that Stacy should have reached out to Karen, because had it not been for Karen, we would have never known about Vivian. Now, Gizelle, you full of crap. Who the hell is Karen for Stacy to have to ask for permission or like let her know that she's going to work with Vivian? Girl, get the hell out of here. Stacy said, I knew Vivian a long time ago. I don't need to tell nobody anything. And I agree with Stacy. That is ridiculous. Like, come on, guys. Gizelle then says, and by the way, I didn't like the way that you did this. You didn't even ask us to be on the show. Stacy says, well, girl, this is for charity. Gizelle says, well, I didn't even thought, I thought you didn't even like charities, to be honest. And Stacy's like, oh, why did you think that? Gizelle says, because you didn't donate to my charity. Stacy says, because you kicked me out. As soon as I stepped my foot in there. Oh my gosh. Gizelle then says, well, I'm not going to be in the fashion show either because I'm confused by it. I might be allergic to dogs. I could have been bitten by a dog as a kid and now I'm traumatized. No, that's a total lie. Stacy is disappointed though. She says, wow, I thought we were all fair-minded, but thank you. But you know what? Stacy did make a great point. She says that Karen Huger expects blind loyalty from her friends. She says, if that's what Karen is looking for, maybe I'm not the right friend for her. And I agree with that. Listen, I'm a ride or die friend. Like, you could commit a crime, I'll be there with you. But if you're one of these people that expect me to put my life on the line for you when you're wrong, then nah. Peace to the Middle East. Then we see, it was a very nice scene, Wendy and Eddie. So, you know, Wendy, this is her 5th season trying to figure out what to do, but she really has a lot of passion when it comes to this talk show. And then Eddie shares some great news. Wendy is going to film an episode in the White House. Now, the old White House, obviously. She's going to be interviewing Karine Jean-Pierre, the first black woman press secretary, who I like a lot. That's a great accomplishment. It's the White House. So happy for her. Okay, then the last scene of the episode is the messiest scene. So the last scene of the episode is Stacey and Mia, and listen, they've come a long way. This is why I love the Housewives, because it's so unpredictable. They went from Mia calling Stacey a boring snooze fest to now Stacey being one of the only ones on her side. I mean, come on. Anyway, Mia's back to her same playbook. Gordon had a spiral moment. He's out of control. He has a condition that's so confusing. Apparently now he's denying that he said what he did say. Anyway, Mia says that she's furious that Karen is villainizing her. And Stacy says, well, you don't want to know something, Mia? It's funny. When I met with Karen, before I joined this group of ladies, Karen told me not to be around you because you are not Potomac. So that's where Mia says, oh, well, is being a drunk Potomac? Is doing this Potomac? Is having affairs Potomac? But here's the bombshell, really. Stacy says Karen also told me that I should avoid being friends with Wendy because Wendy is a self-absorbed individual. Meanwhile, the crazy part is that Wendy, who's talking to Eddie about inviting Karen to the White House in that very same moment. Stacy says Wendy is always having Karen's back, always defending her. But Stacy says that Karen told her that Wendy only looks out for herself. And then Mia says the truth doesn't expire and that everything in the dark comes out to the light. Oof. Listen, y'all, this is good. This was crazy. Ending to the episode. Looks like things are going to be heated next week because next week is the finale. It's finally the finale, and by the promo, it looks like they will be touching on the fact that Karen was found guilty of a DUI, found guilty by a jury of her peers. So, wow, great episode. Y'all, let me know your thoughts. There's a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the Stacy drama with the fashion show, and let's talk about what she said Karen told her. Now, I believe Stacy. I think that Stacy is a little bit of like I hate to say this, but she can be a bit of an airhead sometimes. But I don't think she has any reason to lie. I do think Karen probably said this to her. So it's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one.